Recording. Hi, my name is Daniel. I have a cat here today. We've been trying to. We had a dog that they did not get along, and we finally got her rehomed this weekend. So she went to a very, 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 very cool family with a dog, and they are having a great time. We're getting pictures, but now our cats are out and able to enjoy their space where they previously were trapped away. So I'm gonna have cat in my face a lot today, which is great because Chewy is my favorite little kitty. But yeah, so we're back, and the time is fast approaching for our in-person session, which I'm very excited about. Should I say sessions? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But we're also just gonna hang out and have fun because a lot of us haven't seen each other in a long time, or ever. I guess.
Ever.
Tim, you haven't met Matt. I think Matt, you have met everybody else.
Anyone who was at your
at my wedding.
at your bachelor.
Wait, were you at my bachelor party, Matt?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Wasn't it?
He was your best man.
Wasn't it? Wasn't it geeky? It was so geeky. I loved it.
It was delightful.
It was delightful. Seriously, like, the older I get, and anytime I tell people that we literally went and played laser tag and then played Halo, people are like, "That's amazing! Like, that's great." Like, I don't get anybody who's like, "Oh, that's so lame! Like, why didn't you go to club or whatever?" They're like, "Hell yeah, that's what I want to do." And in other news, I had an actual LAN party for the first time, and I can't remember when, or I went to one. A friend was having a birthday, and they threw a surprise basement LAN party. We set up all our computers, and we played Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies for like a whole day. It was great. Yeah, so okay, but that's not what we're here for. What we are here for is Dungeons and or Dragons. Actually, dragons now, though they are your friends and not your enemies. How
it should be.
Yeah, right. Isn't that wild? Like, I don't know. They're such a core part of D&D, but in this instance, there are hostile dragons. I'm getting sidetracked. Let's do our warm-up question. How about it? Who would like to roll our D100?
Absolutely. Oh, somebody beat me to it.
Oh, well, I mean, hold on. Oh,
wait. The Echo did it.
Okay, so that's a 42. Oh, wow. Okay, so
close.
This is somebody had fun. The question is literally, what does your character think is the true meaning of life?
So the true meaning of life is very simple. Just worship the Goblin of Malta.
Right.
I don't know how many times I have to say this in different ways. The Goblin of Malta is everything, and his Book of Gazening can never lead you astray. I mean, just follow his teachings and everything will go right. I mean, just look at Castor. That guy wouldn't be free if it wasn't for the Goblin of Malta, right? So, I mean, it's just worship the Goblin of Malta, because what else is there?
I'm glad Theo has found something that he's really passionate about.
Yep, and birds. Birds are great. Just take those to the most.
The Themis was ravaged by a death cult, and then 5 years from now they'll be ravaged by the cult of the Goblin of Malta.
Yeah, but it'll be for good. Don't worry.
That's how about Shade, since you rolled it?
That's a meaning of life. Well,
and can we say that this is like a conversation that's happening like on the ship? Like, you guys are just talking to, random sailors and stuff, and they're asking you questions, and somebody asks you guys this.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I would say it's about, I guess, building each other up, trying to build bonds that make everybody better together rather than, struggling through life on your own. There's, the strength, basically kind of the strength in numbers, but also strength in camaraderie and, collaboration.
Yeah,
It's like that's meaningful.
that's great. I
And-
love that.
And would you say that you would take that to the most?
Oh, undoubtedly.
Yeah. Okay.
Undoubtedly take it to the most.
So good. Okay, cool. I love that. How about Falbin?
Think back to the conversation in the tavern with that
Oh,
impressionable youth.
Oh, the little kid. Yeah, in Astoria.
That we gave a weapon to.
Sure did.
Sometimes you just gotta stab a fool.
They gotta learn young.
This is not something that I would imagine that Falbin has put a lot of philosophical thinking into. But I think his response would be something along the lines of balancing wrongs into rights where possible. And very much from a perspective of if there are those who are in power who ought not because they can't respect those under them, then they should be removed.
And I mean, that sort of goes back to Falbin's initial motivation for becoming an assassin in the first place, right?
Yep.
Love it. That's great. How about Theagenes? What does Theagenes think is the meaning of life?
Well, okay. You're probably expecting something really, glib here, where I say the purpose of life is the end or something like that. But
I was gonna say death, but
that's not at all Theagenes' take. I think that death, as it's the end point, and it is not avoidable, and I think that makes Theagenes especially aware of precarity and how we're all sort of living on the very edge of death at any moment, but that makes life more beautiful.
Yeah.
To him. So and that's his reason for protecting it is because it can end at any moment.
It's fragile. Yeah. I like that. How about Magus?
The intentional maximization of pleasure for yourself and others, and those around you.
He's like, I've answered this question 900 times in this campaign.
God,
literally
dude
episode
grew
1.
up in the Academy of Philosophers. You think he hasn't thought about this?
That's great. Okay, yeah. No real big surprises, but it's always a good reminder that these are the things that your characters care about, for me and for you and for others. Cool. Well, let me switch over to our fantasy music, and we'll do our recap. Who would like to recap it?
What does Sprout think the meaning of life is?
Oh, right. Oh boy.
you're gonna get off easy, didn't you?
I sure was about to just switch gears. Let's see. The meaning of life is to eventually grow tall. To grow tall. But that can take a long time. So before that, you need to go see the world, because while you are small, you cannot see over things. So you have to wait to put down roots. And while you are small, you must see the world. So yeah, that's her answer.
All right.
I need to tell you about our Lord and Savior, the Goblin of Malta.
Okay, who's recapping? Oh, by the way, last time, since we started the session off different with a more like dramatic thing, you did not get to do a recap. Everyone will get one inspiration for last session. So whatever you had now, add one to it. If you had 0, you get your 1 and an additional one for last session. So, because the stuff you did last session is pretty darn inspirational across the board, and I did really enjoy listening back to that episode. That was really, really good. Too much stuff to note. So anyway, but whoever would like to do the recap, go ahead.
I was gonna offer, but you giving us an extra one, that puts me at full, so somebody else.
So you're just not gonna do it because you don't get an inspiration die?
Dude, if you don't get credit, what's the point?
How about this?
Yeah.
If you do really want to do it, you can donate it to somebody else.
Okay, all right, I'll give it to whoever's the lowest. So last time we started off, it was very somber. It was very sad. Magus was dead and gone. He had turned to dust, vanished on the wind, and
Spoilers.
basic. Yeah.
If
he
you're
was
just
dead.
listening to this one and that's your first one, that's a mistake. You should go back. But we're glad you're here. Anyway, go ahead.
And basically it started off with a bit of, I guess, introspection and like party in conversation about what we were going to do and what are all our takes on Magus being dead and gone and what we were going to do about that. Yeah, it was really good. If you haven't listened to it, you should go back and listen to it because it's all really good, and I can't do it justice in a summary and recap. So basically, we kind of the party was pretty broken up about Magus being gone, and without a body, there was nothing we could do. You know, we have these scrolls of resurrection, but you can't use them without a body. So we said, well, you know, we're here, we need to go ahead and hatch the eggs, so we're going to hatch the eggs. And so we started into that ritual. Shade basically used his attunement to the Dragonlord helm to kick off the ritual. And while that was going on, or we had the Keladon grab the eggs, and had Rue go and grab Aesop and fly him precariously up to the top of the tree. And yeah, we set up the ritual, started going. While this was going on, Theagenes started exploring around, used his what was it, arcane eye or something like that to look around and realize there's something down below. So he borrowed Shade's diggy hole pick and duggy hole and went down and found skeleton of a dragon, some gold coins, and he communed with that dragon. Well, he did the speak with dead spell.
Yep.
Gave him 5 questions or 3 questions, whatever it was. Yeah. So he asked some questions. Then, scene change. We see Magus in the underworld, or at least waiting at the river Styx, or whatever it's called here. And he was pretty upset about being dead. So much so he said a bad word.
Oh no! Truly the worst thing Magus has ever done.
And that matters because there was a young, impressionable child hiding in the rocks watching him.
Negative morality.
So the child started throwing rocks at him, trying to egg him into playing a game of tag. Eventually, Magus morosely agreed and starts half-heartedly chasing him until the child offhandedly throws out the comment, "You can't catch a dragon," referring to himself, and runs off. And Magus, a little bit shell-shocked, says, "I should run faster." And scene change. Back to the rest of us. The eggs are sitting there. They're starting to crack a little bit. Shade's egg is starting to crack. Bullbug is snuggling Magus's egg, having taken responsibility of it, since he was the one who caught Magus immediately before he turned to dust, and he is going to do everything he can to take care of this egg. And so, the egg starts. Shade's egg starts hatching. We go through a little bit more of that. Theagenes asks some more questions to the dragon. Specifically pertaining about, like, were there any others? What killed you? Are there any other dragons here? Things like that. And scene change back. Magus is chasing after the child. Finally catches him at this wall of what seems to be, golden scales? Is that correct? The wall looked like that from the inside?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that, oh, hey, this wall is stuck. We can't get through. Through some talking, basically Magus eventually agrees to help him break through the wall, see if he can get him out at least. Magus has resigned himself to his fate. And they start punching the wall. Flip to the outside. Magus's egg starts cracking. Seeing signs of life, it's starting to hatch. Theagenes asks a couple more questions. With the eggs both starting to hatch, the tree starts making weird noises and shifting around. We get slightly worried and concerned, but we can't stop now. So flip back and forth. Magus is punching the wall with this little humanoid dragon friend. And his friend is like, well, we're going to have to finish our race on the outside. And Magus is like, I can't go to the outside. And so eventually, dragon friend convinces him, well, at least try to go to the outside. And he's like, I'll try. And the egg hatches. Dragon jumps out to go through the wall. Magus, zip, zap, tornado of dust. He appears outside the wall, alive and naked, in time to catch the dragon coming out of the egg. And Shade's dragon also comes out of the egg. We have a nice little bit of conversation between the dragons. We name them. Shade's is Zerion. Zerion. Sorry, I can't say my own dragon's name. And of course, Magus's is was it Gregarious? Gregarious. That's what it is.
Gary
Gary.
Gergich.
Yeah. Yeah.
Scary.
And
Here it is.
and then with Magus being back, super excited to be alive, he's like, hey guys, I got the way off the tree. We're just gonna jump. And so we're like, cool, down with that. And so a bunch of us jump off. The other ones are like, Magus is crazy. He's probably bad in the head from being dead. We'll wait and see a safer way. So the cool people jump off the tree. The rest stay there and wait to get teleported down. And then we all go back to the Ultros, have a big celebration and a feast, crack out one of the barrels of chocolate milk. Everything's amazing. Everybody's happy. We're having a great time. And that's where we ended.
Yay! Wow, that was
Well done.
comprehensive. Yeah.
You even had the correct order of the scenes going back and forth. Man.
So I know you're full on inspiration and you're donating yours. I'm going to give you... you can add 1 to a single roll this session on top of your inspirations. So
Plus 1.
May
Nice.
it help you. 1 roll. But it can be any roll, not just a d20. Okay, cool. Well done. Who are you going to donate your inspiration to?
I was going to say, who's the lowest on inspirations?
Not me.
I've
I've got
the
3.
lowest is 2 at this point. So
well.
I have 2. Does anybody else have 2?
I have 2. As far as I know.
I'm going to donate it to Falben.
Just have him roll. Just have him roll.
For him. for hopefully use on crit fishing or scavenging
Or actual fishing.
I'm
Or
full up.
actual
You should
fishing.
give it to one of the 2
Okay.
people. The plebes.
Okay, you're
Yeah, do you give him to
you're
the happy
everybody
boy or
else
the
is a
sad
dude.
boy?
okay. Well, then I will give it to Magus because he rolls a lot.
Cool.
And he's been rolling poorly.
All right, cool. Love it. Thank you for that. That was really, really good. Okay, so let's see. We still have the clock at kind of where you guys were at the, returning to the ship and having this festival, this big banquet where you ate the rock meat as cooked by the chef. We also, there was a bit of a reveal that Theagenes found a coin in his boot, and when he took it out to inspect it, he saw a shadow of a dragon pass over the sail lit by moonlight. So, wonder what that is.
Probably nothing.
Probably nothing. But everybody go ahead and take a long rest, and I will advance the clock forward. Let's see.
Since you said that I was able to gain a spell scroll from the...
Yeah.
Well, actually, that comes later. First, after the feast, Magus is going to try and find a sailor or two to join him for the night. And send Gageros off with Aunt Kyra for a bit.
Okay, yeah. You do. I don't know if you had a preference of the list of crew.
No. It was just a thought I had. Like, Magus is a hedonist who just came back to life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which of the treants?
Okay. I don't think the treants are interested.
I'm just kidding. We'll figure that out later. No. I feel like this feels like somebody suddenly deciding to start dating your sister or one of your sisters. I don't know. This is weird for me. Which of the NPCs do I have Magus get with? This is interesting. We'll figure it out. Okay, so
But also after that, you said that I got to get one spell scroll from the tree,
right.
And I am going to choose that Magus finds the spell scroll for the spell Dawn.
Dawn.
And
Okay,
so,
cool.
Yep.
Yeah. You read the spell, and this guy in Wrangler jeans and a handlebar mustache shows up, says, "Hey, I'm Don." That's stupid.
So yeah, later I will prepare that, or
Okay.
I will learn that spell.
This is actually when Timon decides to pop out with a banjo and says,
Yes, he does. Okay, perfect. So it's morning, and you guys are still at the island, which is dominated by the silver-barked spirit tree of the nymph. You know that the Antikythera device needs to be calibrated while standing on solid ground. So who will? Is there anything else you guys are doing in the morning as you're preparing?
I know that I'd said it before, like kind of like off camera, I guess. But unless otherwise noted, every morning Magus is going around and ritually casting water breathing on the entire crew. So,
right. Yeah, you
no
did mention
drowning.
that. You did mention that. Cool. Yeah. There's
Not
a
the
couple.
party, just the crew.
There's a couple crew who don't need it, and so they politely decline. But yeah, everybody has water breathing. A few of them just dive straight off the boat and go for a swim just to try it out, and one of them, like one of the ship's built like carpenters, is like, well, I guess I could check the keel while I'm at it. So he just, swimming around under the ship, able to breathe. So cool.
I'm gonna roll my. Unless you have something special that you want me to get from my divination this morning, I'm just gonna roll my d20 for that.
Yeah, I don't have anything like in mind right now, but a 14, perfect. Yeah,
That's pretty good.
yeah. I think one thing you will note is so you're still using your arcane eye to get your divinations, right?
Yes.
Okay. So and where are you when you do this?
I think I'd start in my room, but I'd let it, float around.
Okay. So you
Maybe
started
looking
in
for the dragon.
looking for the dragon, yeah. So you start in your room and you have this orb, this arcane eye that starts floating around. The eye takes note of your rapidly emptying bag of lotus flower, and I think it sort of hits you that you don't have that much left, and you only really know of one place to get more. So, but then it exits the room and sort of passes down the halls. One thing you note is that the door that leads down to the lower levels of the Ultros that had been covered with ice, that ice is now melting just on its own. Seems that the need for it, yes, it is helpful that the chocolate milk will not spoil in there, but the Ultros is not a chocolate milk delivery service. So
Doesn't it care about morale?
That shouldn't be.
That's the
Should it be-
backbone of any crew.
Milk is the most important meal of the day.
This is
Yeah.
this is what happens when you run a real bleak, grim, dark, gritty realism campaign like this.
No one told us.
No power fantasies here. Your chocolate milk goes bad. So you notice that you don't see a lot up on deck, and so you eventually are like, okay, I should come back. As the eye swings around the open door back into your room and you can see yourself again, you actually see a sort of wispy, winged form that's pretty small, with its nose buried in one of your boots over by your bed. And then when the orb comes around, it snaps its head up and then just disappears. And then your arcane eye expires.
Is this, I'm guessing, the same boot where I found the coin?
It is.
But the coin is not currently there, or is it?
Doesn't matter. You understood the connection, right?
I get the idea. Yes.
Yeah. Maybe it's gold has a sort of lingering aroma, right?
Absolutely.
I don't handle a lot of real gold.
Look, it has a ghost aroma.
Yeah. But there's something curious about you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So yeah, that's what you see. What else is going on?
I feel like Shade.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Falbin's is eagerly awaiting. He had talked to Vulcan about Amazon delivery for the Purple Piercer.
Right.
This is roughly the day when that's going to be showing up. So Falbin is like an eager child, scanning the horizons.
Okay. Roll a perception check.
Oh, I will do that. I will push that button.
Yeah. Wait. Hold on. I'm trying to think of the timing of this, because did we have the Caledon was with you? Oh, but it's been a couple days.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Never mind. It made a very quick trip. Normally it will take longer, but this time it was shorter. So the morning sun is still rising. It's like 8 a.m, and very, very scattered, sparse clouds across a sort of a light yellowish, reddish sky in the morning. And then you see a metallic glint, and a wing beat miles away, and you spy the Caledon. And in about 20 minutes, it arrives, and it says, "Hey, fellas, got something for you. Merry Vulcanalia."
Oh, I'm so excited!
And the torso compartment just pops open, and why don't you describe what you retrieve out of it?
Yeah. Falbin reaches in and grabs the purple piercer, which is a rapier, but the end is rather viciously hooked, which is kind of a unique rapier at that point.
Mm-hmm.
It is in some fashion basically the stinger from the purple worm,
Mm-hmm.
and it is glorious and purple and
Very poisonous.
finessed.
Yeah.
Is the scabbard made out of purple worm scales?
Ooh, I think so, right? It's gotta be.
Obviously. Yeah, definitely. Now that you said it.
I like that. Let's see. The quartermaster comes up to you, and Elena, and she says, like, do you want me to keep that for you down in the No?
No, this is gonna stay with me. This is good. I really appreciate that. That's glorious. I'm gonna right here. Yep.
All right. Okay, so what's Theo doing in the morning?
Brewing up his coffee, doing yoga facing the sun, and praising Malta for the day that he's brought upon us.
Wow.
Amazing.
Magus, the adherent of the literal Magus, the adherent of the literal goddess of the dawn, is standing a little ways off and just looking at him.
And he's also thinking about that colorful bird and how he was really wanting to talk up to Falbin about it, but Falbin got a shiny new toy, and now he doesn't think is a good time to talk to him because he seems preoccupied with his new thingamajigger.
Rue sort of leans over and says, Hey, Theo, it's kind of an awful lot of flying companions around here now. I'm feeling a bit crowded. What do you think about all this?
I think we should get some airspace rules and regulations up, because this is getting out of control. If we all take off at the same time, there could be some serious collisions.
Because I've got dibs, right? I was here first.
No, you were first. There's no doubt. Yeah, no. Those other ones are just babies. You're basically ancient.
They're so fleshy, soft and like.
Yep. They don't make them like they used to. That's for sure.
They sure don't. We'll see how they do in a real fight. One of these days. All right. Well, you just keep making me outpace them, and we'll be fine.
Absolutely. You should probably go show them a thing or two about flying.
Oh, I'd love to. In my exosuit, or just me, all slick and small.
Probably you slick and small, because then you could better show them what they're capable of, and then you wouldn't be so intimidating. Unless you'd like to be considered as like an older sibling kind of a role.
I think I'm gonna go the shock and awe approach.
Good call. Good call. You want me to make your cannons a little bit shinier, a little bit more prominent?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Shine me up, Captain.
I'll get the silver polisher. The brass, I should say. The brass polisher.
It's bronze, Theo. You should really know this by now. It tarnishes way different. I keep telling you I'm bronze.
You'll always be gold in my heart.
Oh, gold's softer and more malleable, though.
Yeah, but it's so shiny and valuable.
Can it be titanium or something? I know that's.
I agree. That would be more useful. Yeah, I think titanium. You'll always be titanium in my heart.
Have we talked for long enough? I feel like we've sort of been speaking for a few minutes, just us.
No, I think we could go a bit longer. That'd be fine.
Hey,
do you want to hear about the Goblet of Malta?
I'd love to. Tell me the whole story.
So it all started.
Okay, so Shade, what is Shade doing in the morning?
I mean, Shade would, get up a little bit before dawn, like we established in the last set of questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he would be basically making preparations as quick as he can to get the Ultros en route to the next island.
Okay.
So he would have basically right at first light be taking one of the landing boats back to the island to calibrate the Antikythera and get us ready to go. Figured any other preparations go after that.
Do you go alone, or do you take like Zerion and or?
You take Zerion and whoever else, probably like a couple of the crew, the Navigator.
Okay, yeah, Navigator comes. I mean, the Navigator's fascinated. This will be like the second time it's ever been used in recent history. So you pilot the boat over and step out onto the very root woven rocky shores of this island. And Zerion says, "Father, what is this thing? What are we doing?"
Well, this is our compass to navigate the islands of the Cerulean Gulf. So we have to calibrate it standing on, dry land, and then with it we can navigate to whichever island we choose. I believe our next port is Fire Island.
Fire Island is it going to be hot?
That is an excellent question. We should probably ask Bisk when we get back to the ship.
Is that the lizard man?
Yes, it is.
He looks at me really strangely, Father.
He does that to everyone.
Yes, but he even kneeled to me once or twice.
Oh, well, I believe they might consider dragons as some of their ancestors and things. So he might have a very high opinion of you, just based on what you are.
Well, we must be very far removed, Father, because I don't really see much similarity between him and I.
It's all right.
But
Well,
he seems a nice fellow. He's very polite.
He is. At least after he's had his slaver.
What's slavery, Father? No. Can I push the button? Once it's locked in, of course. The navigator says, "Oh, I wanted to push the button."
Oh, sorry. He asked first.
That's fine. I got next though. Anyway,
Sure,
he says, I just hope that, with that new star that popped up, that this thing is even gonna work. But we'll see. And yeah, so you turn the dials and gears until the stars form the. I'm trying to remember what the constellation looked like. Let's see.
That's a good question.
Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong list of journals. Voyage of the Ultros, the constellations. It is the constellation of the Prisoner. So it looks like you ever play Lego Island? The guy that steals the pizzas and they throw him in prison, and then he orders a pizza, and then you give it the pizza and he melts the bars of it's like a spicy pepper pizza, and he uses it to melt the bars and escape out of prison. Great game.
And that one, yeah.
It looks just like that.
What?
Sorry. Look up Lego Island on YouTube later. It's great. Yeah, so you turn it and assemble the constellation, and Zarion places his scaly hand on it, and it clicks into place, and you can feel sort of a warm pull back to the Ultros, as it seems to desire to be linked, so that it can navigate there. The crew is all getting stuff ready and tying stuff down, cleaning the deck from last night. Magus, you leave your quarters with Stormwing, and he says, sorry if I left any feathers. The crew starts getting ready. Shade, you and Zarion and the Navigator make it back to the Ultros, and we'll say there's like a little sort of notch in the helm that the Antikythera sort of fits into, and the wood of the helm sort of grows around the edge of the Antikythera and sort of holds it in place. You can feel the ship sort of groan a bit in anticipation, and orders start to be barked, and the oars start to pull through the water and begin to turn, and you start to turn the wheel, following the heading on the Antikythera, and it'll be 3 days before you get there. So
something that I would like to do in the morning.
Yeah.
Because Magus is also expecting something from the Keladone delivery.
Oh, well, it's already here.
And just so, like, he would also be there with Falbin when Falbin receives the the
sure,
purple
yeah.
piercer.
Okay. What do you get?
So I get 2 miniature replicas of a replica of the fancy chest that that his egg was delivered in,
Mm-hmm.
and a replica of the chest that held the map to the Ultros.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And when I get those items and Falbin gets the purple piercer, I'm going to look over at Falbin and I'm going to say, when you are ready to put down the crystal dagger so you can wield that, let me know. I can make a secure place for it.
Alvin sort of looks at you like you've said something strange, but seems slightly confused by it all, and nods his head.
It's math. You've got your rebound dagger and the crystal dagger and the purple piercer, and I think physically you can only hold 2.
I mean, Falbin is not particularly interested in set down the crystal dagger.
Magus will remember this.
While everyone else is getting stuff from the Caledon, sorry, were you done? I didn't mean to interrupt.
I guess as we pass each other, I'm going to ask for the Ultros map chest from the bag of holding.
Absolutely. I was gonna put my bird in it, but I guess you can have it.
Like as you hand it over, it just vanishes.
The
moment
chest.
it
Got
touches
your own
things.
spatial storage, huh?
Yep.
Look at you all growed up. Well, I'll have my bag. It's probably got more space in it if you need it. Cool.
And I will also go. I'll go below deck back to my room and do a similar thing to the egg chest. And so those are both stored in the ethereal plane now.
Okay, cool. That's crazy.
Using the
And so-
secret chest spell.
Secret chest spell. Yeah.
And while everyone's getting things from the Caledon, I got something from the Caledon too. It's a statue of the Goblin of Malta, special edition. So
Look at that.
yeah,
Or at least, yeah. That's wow. Everyone
Okay,
on the
so-
deck stops and bows. No, I'm just kidding.
as they should. I'll raise it up high and I'll go ah.
Haru is just like wings spread, looking up to the heavens.
Yep. And it was made by the kids whose figures we had signed early on in the game. I requested it specifically for him.
Oh, love it. Okay, yeah.
It's not the best craftsmanship, but I believe in giving the younger generation the tools that they need to cultivate their success later on. Because I mean, those people who do really really good work and like they're well known, they already got a good start. So you gotta. If the word comes out that one of the heroes patronized him, then he could go big.
Yeah. So you're supporting his Patreon, helping him.
Grassroots kind of a thing. Yeah.
Totally.
Liking, subscribing, doing
Yeah.
all of the things to help him out. Yep.
Where do you display this this statue?
I'll probably put it in my cabin on my shrine that I have.
Okay. Yeah. And you just leave it there, like by itself.
He's on my workbench. He oversees all of my work.
Okay. Do you
So-
normally lock your cabin door?
Yeah,
Not that it
there's a lot
matters,
of tools
just-
and things, and
Yeah.
and Theo likes to make sure that everything's in its place and nothing gets touched or moved or anything, because his I roll. Here's something happened, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. All right.
So,
Just
I mean,
checking.
he also
Makes
booby traps
sense.
it. He also booby traps it.
Okay,
so,
just checking. Just checking.
Yeah.
All right.
We should have more conversations like this.
We should, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the weather like today? It's does this calendar do
Cloudy
weather?
with a chance of rain.
Yeah, Rick. Yeah. I don't know if it
A
does
little
weather.
1d4 and assign weather conditions. Cloudy, rainy, sunny.
I should do that. Maybe like a D6 where like 1 through 3 is, sunny, 4 is cloudy. You know what? No, this is not the time to come up with a random weather system.
We'll get it later.
We'll get it later. Okay, so the Caledon, it delivers your stuff and it asks if, like, hey, you want me to hang around or go back to my workshop?
Could I get you to retrieve some stuff from Mitros for me?
Yeah, it'll be 2 days there, 2 days back.
Okay. If no one else has anything, I would like to order in 2 spell scrolls from Mitros.
All right, and which just go through a window or
I mean, I could give him instructions for how to find either Giannis or Machion, and I'm assuming I would also call ahead at some point to let them know that Caledon's coming.
Yeah, all right, cool. I'm pretty sure I could convince them that it's from, well, Vulcan, but spell scrolls.
I write out a receipt of the things that I wanted, like sign Magus, and like.
It's like the videos of the guy that sends his RC car to the grocery store and with like cash in the bucket on top, and okay, cool. So he goes off to do that, and you guys are sailing.
That we are.
That you are. Okay, so it takes 3 days, so each day is like maybe like an hour in game time, so we're just gonna sort of sit here quietly for till about midnight. Yeah,
it works. That's fine.
All right. Let's just sit here.
Falvin throws a fishing line over the side of the ship.
Oh, we're fishing! All right.
Oh, this is a little too much action.
Let's go. Okay. All right. Fishing rules. We had rules, right? I can't.
Yeah, I got them.
You got them?
Up. I'm looking at them.
Let's get to fishing. Hold on. Let me change the music a little bit.
You know, this is the only reason that people tune in every week, right?
For the fishing.
It's the fishing adventure.
Okay, yeah. So you guys are up at full speed. The oars are swiftly pulling the Ultros through the water. The sails are billowed. The crew is, hoisting the I-80s and all that, and Falvin retrieves his fishing rod. Death in his eyes.
With great purpose. Those treants, they need to have some good chum water.
Mm-hmm.
Chum it up, buddy.
All
you
right,
gonna chummy with me?
I'm gonna throw it out there. I need to pass a DC 10 survival check here.
Never gonna happen.
Never gonna happen.
Zero.
Impossible.
Use your +1 now.
It's a 15. Look at that. Oh wait, I don't think you can fail that.
I can't fail it.
you literally have a 100% chance of catching a fish.
I do.
Suspense was killing me.
I hate that I know this now. Okay. So you hook it, and a couple of the crew kind of gather to watch, and the dragons in particular are taking special interest, and Gigeros is just like, no, let me see, and Zarion's like, I'm not blocking you.
Hey, I'm Gigeros. Why don't you go and catch one yourself?
Can I?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Just don't mess with his catch.
What? No, he leaps into the water, and we'll say he has jumped in once or twice before you guys have left. He seems to take to the water quite naturally, and he swims almost like a fish, very sort of undulating, snake-like patterns as he moves through the water at pretty frightening speed. But that gold, lustrous, scaly skin reflects the midday sun through the a couple feet of water. Falvin, what kind of fish do you get?
Oh. Not applicable. Meaning I whiffed.
So before we resolve that, Magus, roll a Constitution, or was it a survival check?
It's a DC 10 survival.
Roll a survival check for Gigeros.
All right. It's terrible. Like for some reason the menu keeps shifting where it is, and whenever I move my mouse over the survival button, it moves to a different location.
I mean, you can just open his character sheet in full.
Yeah, I'll do that. All right.
Gigeros' first roll.
You still learn.
Oh!
So, Falvin, you see, you can see a fish on your line. You can't tell what kind, and you feel tension in the hook and the line. But before long, it slips the hook, and Gigeros tries to catch it, but isn't quite fast enough, and it goes deep into the water. Gigeros is not going to go very deep. So he splashes back out of the water, flies up on the deck, and you're both losers. You both fail.
Holy shit, hated Ben here.
I'm steering the ship. Do you need me to pull this boat over right now?
Oh, come on, like that thing can't fly itself.
Wow.
We're going in a straight line, Shade. What are you even doing up there?
Yeah, what do you think we're gonna run into? A sea
I'm
serpent?
looking important and inspiring the crew. What else do you need?
Damn it! You do look inspirational, I gotta say.
Wind in your fur.
Zarion,
That
take
chocolate
notes.
milk in your hand.
This is how you inspire people.
I see. So it's not always about action; it's about poise.
Yes, there are times. Anyways.
I don't know why I'm thinking of it's always a Back to the Future reference, but in Back to the Future 3, when the marshal, who is played by the principal in the first movie, Principal Strickland, he is at the the hoedown or whatever, and he's making sure that there isn't any troublemakers, and he has his like little son with him on his own horse, and he's like giving him like life lessons, like, that's about discipline, son, and he's like, yes, father. And so I'm getting like big vibes from that. Go watch Back to the Future if you've never seen it. This episode brought to you by Back to the Future, DeLorean Motor Company. Okay, so no fish, sadly. I'll kill the action music because this is not action anymore. I'm so sorry.
We've got 2 more days, guys. 2 more days.
What a disappointment.
2 more.
It's got to roll a 100 on that table and get us a dragon turtle.
Yep.
Ooh, that'd be
Gonna
cool.
need significant effort to haul that in.
That's what the ballistas are for.
Is there anything going on during the day? Otherwise, we'll sort of skip to the end of the day.
If no one else has something,
Go ahead.
okay.
You don't have to ask
Probably about
permission
mid-after-
to do something.
About mid-afternoon. Do I know where Kyra is?
Oh yeah, I mean she's she's downstairs. She's drumming for the treants.
Okay.
Would you like to go to Mitros?
Yeah, you walk up to her and she's like, "Oh, Megas, would you like to go to Mitros?" Ooh.
Actually, Magus runs up to her, absolutely panicked, and it's like, Kyra, please, no, Kyra, come, get your bag, please, come quick.
All right. She narrows her glance at you a little bit. Okay, yes, Megas, let's go, of course. And she gets her bag and runs with you.
And they go to Magus's room, and on the floor of Magus's room is Adrian, dead.
I'm just replying to a Facebook Marketplace message right now.
Make sure you hit up Craigslist and compare at least. You don't want to get ripped off.
Somebody's selling Arby's signs near me, and I'm like,
Oh, I've got lots of those. Do you need one?
It's
I got
only
extras.
Do the signs say Adrian is fake?
Yeah.
it's only $400, so I'm like, pretty good.
Yeah, that is pretty good. You should snatch that up. I could never find one that cheap.
Let's see.
The sound of keyboards in the morning.
Yep.
Okay, screw it. Yeah. So this whole time she's like, "Yeah, Megas. Yeah. Whoa, my goodness. Let's go." And she's like, you're obviously lying about something and here to trick her. And then you open the door and she swings around. She's, Megas, hey, cut whatever you're doing, cut it out. I don't know what you're playing, but Adrian is here, and she like kneels down and starts to get out her scroll. We'll finish your prank later, whatever it is.
We were trying a new spell, and then I snapped my fingers, and I think it worked, and I dismissed feign death.
And he says, "Nice one, bro." And she says, "That's feign death, right?
Feign death.
3rd level necromancy. Yep. Yep.
I think I brought it back with me. But
what do you mean you brought it back with you?
it was a lot easier to figure out.
You have a taste of the real
I
thing.
haven't really had an aptitude with necromancy before. But this wasn't just to trick you. This was also a test.
To see if someone like me would be fooled by it.
Exactly. Because I don't trust illusions or even my ability to change shape to fool divine sight. But if this could fool you, it might be able to fool the Titans.
I have no idea how you plan to use something like this against the Titans.
Me neither!
But it's weird and I like it. But don't ever do that to me again.
Okay, I won't. But
Thank you. Adrian, if he ever tries to talk you into something like that again, I've seen your punches. You give him one good square one, please, won't you? And he says, I think I have to say yes. Right, Magus? She's a goddess.
No, you don't.
I'm gonna say, and Kyra's looking at him with like the most deathly stare. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go with Kyra on this, Magus. Yeah. I feel like I took like a nap. That was really great, actually.
Yeah, I should start a service for people who are stressed.
You'll. It's called "You'll Sleep When You're Dead," in quotes. Dead in quotes.
Yes. Kyra, get on the marketing.
I'm on it. Go down to FedEx right away. She leaves. She's entertained but flustered, and yeah. The rest of the day passes. You see some sights. There's songs that are being sung as people clean and work on the ship and maintain the ballista. Eventually, the afternoon starts to turn to evening. Meals being prepared. I have not been tracking food rations. I hope that you guys are. And also note that your dragons are now going to count against those. So keep that in mind. Yeah.
I did ask if the in Discord if the feast would count against rations, and you said it wouldn't. So
I said it wouldn't. Yeah, I just mean in terms of like daily rations going forward. Okay, so it's not a feast tonight. It's a normal meal. It starts to get dark, and Theagenes, roll a perception check, please.
Ooh, I'm good at that. I'm good at perception. I'm not actually good at rolling things quickly. Hold on.
Well, that's okay. That's a real life skill.
Yeah. I did really, really poorly there.
Yeah. You don't see anything out of the ordinary. You are. Where would you say you are, sort of after dinner, as it's getting dark?
Maybe wandering around the deck.
Wandering around the deck. You come to sort of an empty quarter of the deck, and you hear the sound of like a small piece of metal clattering onto wood behind you.
Okay. Give me just a second. Because I think actually, where'd the info for the departed helm go?
Ooh, I have no idea.
Hold on. It was a Griffin Saddleback thing, right?
It was, yeah.
Sorry, because I think it actually might give me advantage on certain things.
I think it does. Departed helm. Skeletons and creatures with a challenge rating of 5 or lower with skeleton or skeletal in the name are indifferent.
I thought it gave me some kind of a perception thing, but maybe that's something else.
You get information about like time of death of a creature. Like you can tell how long ago something died.
Oh no, it was the Golden Shield of Vulcan. I have wisdom. Yeah, I have advantage on wisdom. So I thought I did.
Perfect. Yeah. So roll that
check.
perception again.
Roll it again, and don't fail it this time. Ha-ha!
Look at that. A crit. So instead of what I told you before about you hearing that metallic clink on the ground, you hear something sort of creeping up behind you.
I do.
Shoot it.
Can I let's see. I'm gonna cast Arcane Eye and use it to look behind me without turning around.
Okay. So you cast Arcane Eye as nonchalantly as you can. I mean, you don't have subtle spell, but I'll say because you rolled so well in the perception, you hear whatever this is while it's far enough away from you that you can subtly do this. So you cast the Arcane Eye, and this orb appears, and the orb sort of peeks around your leg to look behind you, and you can see a small ghostly dragon sort of sneaking up behind you.
Okay. Can I want to try and talk to it, but I want to try and talk to it with I want to try and speak to it just with a mind link.
Okay, yeah, I'll say. I mean, you can see it coming. I like that. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say, what are you looking for, little one?
It stops as you address it. I mean, you address it in its mind, and it sort of shakes its head.
I can do that in Draconic.
Yeah,
so I will.
For sure. It shakes its head in confusion, and then sort of sits down on the ground, and just sort of looks at you with a cocked head, and just says, I just wanted to see the gold again.
I guess I'm carrying the coin, so I'll take it out of my pocket and say, do you mean this?
Its ears, ghostly, sort of wispy ears, smoke, sort of ethereal smoke pouring off of them, perk up. Yes, that's it.
I'll just sort of put it down on the deck next to me.
Okay. And you're still not facing it.
No, just to my left. I'm placing it.
It sort of gives you a little bit of a couple feet of distance, but it circles around you, looking between you and the coin as it approaches, and then looks at the coin and picks it up. And so there's this little ghostly dragon holding this coin, sort of lovingly. It sort of holds it close, and it says, "Thank you. I thought you would be scared of me."
It takes a little more than that to scare me. I'm used to ghosts, though not dragons.
Am I a ghost, as you say?
I think so.
How?
Didn't you know?
I don't know. I remember Mother, but I never saw her. I just remember her. And then what was dark turned to a different sort of dark. It hurt a little. And then I waited. I could see her now, but she couldn't see me, and she couldn't speak to me. She didn't move. And so I waited. I waited a long time, I think. And then you came. And you spoke to her. I had never heard her voice before. It was really nice. I'm glad she liked you.
Oh. I'm so sad for him. Okay. Well, is this coin? Is it something you'd like to have?
It reminds me of her. I can sort of feel her with it.
There's more, isn't there? More than just this coin.
I think so. Yeah.
Would you like to go looking for it?
I would. I heard you talking to her. And I know that she trusts you to find what was hers. Yeah, I would like to come along. But I'm afraid.
What are you afraid of?
I don't know. I don't know what I am or what I can become. I feel like I shouldn't be here.
Do you know that's a feeling? All of those feelings you just said, not knowing who you are or what you can become or whether you should be here, that can be felt by anyone, the living too.
Thank you. That's good to know. I all I see is brave faces, songs of conquest and victory, and all I've experienced so far is loneliness and nothing.
Loneliness is something to be afraid of, but you can talk to me now.
I know. Yes. Well, I will be around. I sometimes disappear. But I'll be around.
Do you have something I can call you?
Call me?
Do you have a name?
No, I think my mother would sing to me, but through the barrier, through the wall, I heard only muffled voices. I'm sure she called me something, but I don't know what it was.
Well, let's say until we find out what it was, I'll call you Nameless.
Nameless. It sounds like a dragon.
Well, I look forward to seeing you again.
Me too. I'm harder to see in the daytime.
That makes sense. If you ask the crew, they'd say I'm harder to see in the daytime too.
He chuckles. And he chuckles and then looks down. He's, what was that? I sort of jumped inside.
Oh, that was a laugh because I said something funny. It doesn't happen often, don't worry.
and a cloud sort of passes over the moon, and the deck grows darker for a second, and then when the cloud passes away again, the moonlight shines down, and he is gone. But you can feel the coin in your pocket.
Okay, I'll keep walking.
Yeah. You fall off the deck and you die in one hit.
I have I have water breathing.
Yep.
Damn it, Megas. Yeah.
Help!
Okay, cool. So I'll probably go ahead and give you the stat block of your ghost dragon wormling.
Oh, little friend.
Mm-hmm.
He's so sad, just like me.
He's so sad. Ah! I kind of forgot that I didn't plan on having a conversation today, but I thought that was nice.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm like the Fred Rogers of sad little ghost dragon.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it is good to be
I like you.
like have ghosts, be comforted by your presence. That was like one thing I was so like excited about, is like it fit the initial impression of Theagenes so well. Is like, oh, the dead, are comforted by him, so gotta be a dead dragon, right? Like that's gotta be it. Okay, cool. So the night starts to turn into later night, nightier night. And everybody puts on their little caps that sort of flap over to the side, and their little pajama sets, and they start piling into one big bed and start snoring. Can I get a who is a honk shoe snorer, and who is like a me snorer? This is important.
Magus meditates, so he is exempt.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure what you're trying to say by trying to say that we can only have 2 types of snores.
Oh, okay. Well, what kind of snoring is Theo then?
Well, I mean, Theo doesn't, but I'm sure if someone did a snore, they wouldn't like to be confined.
Right.
It's actually Rue. Rue is the one who actually snores. It's more of like a creak, 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 creak.
he just like tick tocks, and then in the middle of the night, just like bang,
Bang, bang, midnight.
Every hour.
wakes himself up. Jesus Christ!
The sailors on watch, they're like, man, it's actually kind of nice not having to ring the watch bell. Rue does it for us.
Yeah, like the first night or two, they go and walk over to where the bell is to ring it at whatever. Like, oh, geez, all right on time. You've solved my ship's bell puzzle. Congratulations. Okay, so the night advances, and unless there's anything going on. Is there anything going on?
I would like to also point out that Shade would have rigged up another hammock in his quarters. This one close to the same size as his, but and lower, kind of on the other wall.
Uh-huh.
So all three of them are in that room.
Yeah. That's great. Maybe I can move the. Oh wait, how do I? Whatever. Love it. You guys are just this little family. It's amazing. Okay, so we.
Yeah. And in preparation for other stuff, Sprout would, without telling anybody, she would have procured a pouch, and she would have cast all 3 of her good berries spells for the day.
Smart.
Into that pouch.
Hell yeah. Do good berries go bad?
They lose their potency, so they don't do the
become
healing
bad
anymore.
When good berries go bad. Cool. Bad
Bad berries.
Bad berries.
What you gonna do?
When you eat it, you take 1 damage. Love it. Okay,
No,
great.
no. This is. She's not gonna. Nobody's gonna eat these berries. She has a plan.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, she's saving her berries.
She
They're
is.
for the rats.
Yep.
They're for Timon.
It's to see if Falvin can really eat a cluster of berries in like a second, like he says he can.
She wants to see it.
I swear I told far too many people that I had no business telling to that story of like, yeah, so I play D&D. It's like a tabletop role-playing game, except we play online, and in it you sort of, pretend to be characters and you roll dice to see what happens. Well, get this. It's a Greek campaign, and in the game, one of my players, who's a real person, but he's pretending to be this Medusa, and
The longest setup ever.
and like, sir, I don't know if we can get you that 0% APR on your new Honda.
I just wanted your fast food order.
like, get this. He eats a whole cluster
Sir,
of
this
grapes.
is a Wendy's.
Yeah.
You want a blizzard?
Oh wow. So he eats the whole, and this is all in your imagination. You said it's not actually happening. Like, yeah, but it's
You roll dice?
it's like a story that we're telling. Yeah. Okay. How many is it? All right. Anyway, so it's morning now, and
And the story's still going on.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, and you'll arrive on the next day at the. Wait, hold on. Wait. 1, 2, 3. Yes. You'll arrive the 12th. Yeah. So what's going on?
I imagine that in like morning sparring sessions between Magus and Shade now, there's gonna be like 2 snot-nosed dragons off in the corner arguing about whose dad can beat up whose dad.
Oh yeah, big time. Zarian is like, Kikaros. I mean, he's clearly twice his size. I mean, and your brother. What is he? What is he? I mean, he's my friend.
He's awesome.
He's awesome. Look at him. He's awesome. He doesn't need muscles. He's just, he's smart, and he has a book. Okay, we'll just watch and see. Just please move a little bit away from me, please. Just standing so close. Are you guys actually sparring?
Sure.
I mean, yeah, I don't know if you want to play it out, but I imagine this is something that happens regularly.
We can just do a couple contested rolls, and we don't have to like do damage and stuff. But yeah, I mean, however you wanna do it. I mean, I'm assuming you'll be using like attack rolls, and are you armored up, like fully armored?
No. Magus
Here's
is
the fun
armored,
thing.
so-
Oh wait, no. The mithril short sword ignores a shield. Never mind. Yeah.
We'll just do best out of 3 hits.
Ooh.
Oh. So you guys draw your Magus, you draw your mithril short sword. Shade draws a long sword, and you get into your stance. And what is sort of your intro move? Because the end result is that you guys clash, and neither of you makes headway. So what is sort of the way you approach this combat?
I mean, Shade would be going for like a high-powered start, like kind of a side swing, like basically almost like a baseball bat swing, right at Magus's center of mass type of thing.
Haymaker, love it. And what does Magus do in response?
Magus is coming in he's definitely more agility based, and so he does kind of a swing to the side to block the sword, to block Shade's sword with like the base of his, while at the same time almost being like backing up into Shade's space.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. You're like avoiding you're getting in close so that the power of the hit is less. Yep. Yeah, love it. Okay, roll again.
Oh.
Whew. So Magus, you're in close, like you're like butted up against Shade almost, and you push his sword away. Shade, you're a bit off balance, and you come in for like a high strike, and Magus, you just sort of easily put your sword like up against his neck, and like.
Wow, you are so slippery.
Okay, that's one for Magus. Roll again.
Oh.
So you guys return to.
Gotta show up for my boy.
You return to a dueling stance, and Shade, you narrow your eyes and craft a very carefully planned strike. You give a bit of a fake, and then come around from sort of up underneath. Magus, you're just insightful enough to see that he's changing tactics mid-swing, and you just barely deflect the blade out, and then tap the blade on sort of his inner thigh.
That's 2 out of 3, friend.
Yep, you got me this time.
Gageros like pushes Zarion. It's like, see, I told you. He's smart. He uses his head. Nice job. Awesome. Zarion's like, Father, I've been embarrassed.
Okay, it's friendly sparring. It's kind of like a little bit of a stage where it's like, if we were fighting for real, I could have attacked him twice for every one that he got on me.
I see. Father, once again, you've shown that poise is more important.
But also, keep in mind, this is a lesson. Friendly sparring between comrades and allies helps build everyone up. See, we practice like this so we can do even better in combat. It doesn't matter which one of us wins or loses at any given time. It's about improving each other, and that's what we're doing.
And he's happy, and you seem happy, so... Okay.
Yes.
All right. Maybe I'll try sometime.
Yeah, that would be excellent.
What? Do I have a Glock, Father?
If you want one of those, you're gonna have to talk to Theo.
Hey, his dragon is so like creepy. It's fake, and I don't like it.
I heard that.
How did it hear me?
Cause he's creepy.
I'd like to return to our driving lessons, Father.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
I don't know, are we gonna do another fishing bout today?
We sure could.
Don't you have a ship to steer?
Yeah, I thought you were trying to
There's
stay
other
on a
crew that
straight
could
line.
do that.
No time for fishing, you
Pull
said.
you guys out to the ocean map. Actually, I can make the Fire Island visible now.
It's the Odyssey at Toyota Sienna van.
It's a Honda Odyssey.
Honda Odyssey. Oh, that's a good one.
That's perfect for our grim dark campaign.
I told you.
Hop in.
It's the Odyssey of the Dragonlords. I've been wanting to make that joke for like a year and a half.
Wow.
Guys, it's got third row seating. It's got the fold down seats. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, you can fit a pretty big sea serpent back here, man.
Sure
We get like 35 miles to the gallon.
It's
Boom.
carbon
Efficiency.
neutral. Look at it. Oh, it's just miraculous.
And I was able to
Swagger
get 0% APR financing on it.
Yeah.
That charisma's really coming through.
And it can actually change into another vehicle once it takes the dodge action.
Whoa.
Okay, now you've gone too far. There was a line, and you crossed it.
I have to have fun too. Okay, so yeah, are you guys gonna fish again?
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Hit us up with the survivals.
I don't have a token on here. All right.
Oh, sorry. Doo-doo.
You could just go double click your actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, you still passed. I mean, we don't do crit
at that.
fails. We don't do crit fails on that. Okay, so Falvin, you almost lose your rod over the edge, but you do.
I'm like, we're gonna fish again together, and I'm like, all excited. I run over the edge, and I'm like,
but you've both hooked
All
something.
right.
So what is it? D100s. 41.
Oh man.
yeah, that's a striped bass.
Striped bass.
69 pounds.
Nice.
You're making that up. No way.
56 is a sockeye salmon,
Sockeye
9
salmon.
pounds. Oh,
An
I made up for
odd-looking
last
red
time.
Mine's its description is literally an odd-looking red salmon.
Shade, Kyra walks up to you and says, "It's okay, Shade. This time, I'll make yours look bigger. Remember how I painted so Falbin's fish looked bigger? It's okay. I've got you covered. I've got you covered. Don't worry."
Oh, it's good to have friends I can count on.
And about 5 minutes later, she turns it around, and it's just an accurate representation of Falbin and his much larger fish than yours. She just winks.
She just laughs.
I'm glad. I'm glad we can build each other up.
I just felt like I haven't played a prank in a while.
No, that's a pretty good one.
Cool. Yeah. So, what is there anything else going on while I'm doing something?
Well, Jade would be, he probably would have done a little bit the day before, but now that he's not the one, piloting the ship, today he'd be, showing Zerion the ropes and everything and the sails and all the rigging, showing him the ropes of the ship.
The
And
ropes.
what it does, and introducing him to all of the crew and sailors, explaining what their jobs are,
Love it.
so
Yeah.
he knows kind of the context and what we're doing.
Okay, sweet. While you're sort of walking around explaining the ship and everything, you can hear a scraping sound from the port side of the ship.
Oh, well, I will investigate.
You start to move to the side to investigate, and then there's a sudden lurch, and the ship heels over and turns sharply to port. Several people are knocked over, some barrels sort of roll, and the ship quickly comes to a halt. Yeah.
Oh.
This is why you don't leave the wheel.
Yeah, one job.
Guess not.
What are you doing, lollygagging?
I am quickly rushing to the port side to see what we hit, or what hit us.
Yeah. So you look over the edge, and it seems that you've hit a shallow coral reef and run aground. Some of the sailors run up and say, "Shane, I swear I didn't see anything. I don't know. It's just the color of the coral just blended in with the water. So sorry. The hull looks okay, but I think we're stuck."
Oh, I guess we'll have to see what we can do to get unstuck. So looking around at like where we've run aground, what can I see, if anything, of the coral and stuff?
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty shallow area. I mean enough that the ship is not able to move. The coral sort of extends out for about 30 feet around the ship. It's not a huge patch, but it's still going to take some doing to get it off of this patch of coral.
Do I see anything else? Are we alone here?
You don't see anything immediately, but you can make a perception check. Oh.
All right, I will try and perceive.
I have a string on my shirt, and I thought I could yank it free, and then it just got like 10 feet long, and
now you don't have a shirt.
If I do have a shirt. It just started to like cinch up in weird spots. And a Weezer song started playing all of a sudden.
Yeah.
21. You look around carefully, and you see the coral really well. There's like some small fish that are sort of meandering between the coral. It's kind of teeming with small sea life, but you don't see any creatures in the vicinity. There's no ships on the horizons. You seem pretty. Yeah, you're just stuck on a reef.
All right. Well, I guess let's get to it. So, see, like, how far onto this reef are we? Are we just kind of barely run up the ground on it? Like, would be better to push the ship back, or
the ship had a lot of momentum, and it probably would be more straightforward to, well, ironically more straightforward to push it back. But you are basically like smack dab in the middle of this reef due to all the momentum you had.
Cool. Well, I guess Shade would start talking to everybody else, let them know we've run aground on a coral reef. We've got to figure out how to get ourselves unstuck. I'm thinking, Demetria, if you wouldn't mind, if you could help me get the treants to help push us off of this. They are probably the most well suited for this, but everyone who can, please help. Just pile into the water. How deep is the water here? Like,
it looks about like 2.5, 3 feet deep.
okay, so we ran up pretty far.
Yeah.
All right, well,
I'm going to go over to Shade, and I'm going to tap him on the shoulder. I'm going to say, do you want me to do awesome magic stuff with water again?
no, well, what awesome magic stuff with water would you do? Because last time you made it all go away. This time we
Right,
need more of it, right?
So I would like a DM's ruling on the flood aspect, where it talks about creating a tidal wave if the area of the water includes a shore, and if that would apply to this instance.
I don't think so. That sentence where it says if the area includes a shore, that's a qualifier for the remainder of the sentence that follows, which is that the water spills over onto dry land. I would say you're not at a shore, so you can just ignore that whole sentence.
Right.
So it would just be you cause the water level of all standing water to rise by as much as 20 feet, and then skipping down to any huge or smaller vehicles are carried with it to the other side.
Those sentences describe the tidal wave that occurs if there is a shore involved.
Yep. So skipping down, the water level remains elevated until the spell ends. Yeah, so I guess it would just be the water rises 20 feet and remains elevated until the spell ends.
So I can raise it from 2 to 3 feet up to 22 feet of water.
That seems like the best solution.
Oh, then that
No,
makes
no.
this pretty easy. All right.
I think
I
we should
just-
still have Shade get down and push.
Yeah,
I just wanted to be
you know-
clear before we have people jumping down into the water.
Yep.
I
Yep,
feel
good
like
point.
this is a great opportunity to teach your dragon about character and putting some sweat equity into things.
Yes, we could
That's
just
Shade's
snap
method,
our
and I-
fingers and do it with magic.
Yeah.
But you really haven't worked for it and earned it. Don't you want that sense of accomplishment that you get from really putting your back into it?
Absolutely, that
I
pain.
can't hear you. I'm 100 feet away. I've already solved the problem.
So are you casting the spell?
Yeah, I will cast Control Water underneath the Ultros and raise the water level 20 feet.
Okay. One of the components is a pinch of dust, which you don't have. So
Yeah,
that
that
you're
one's
not gonna
really
be able
hard.
to. Not gonna be. I'm just kidding.
Technically, all material components can be substituted for the spellcasting focus, which is my armband.
I'm kidding. You what is the somatic? I mean, this is a pretty grand spell. What is the somatic and verbal?
Yeah.
What does this look like as you cast this?
As I cast this, I'm. Yeah, let's see. I'm trying to think of what the somatic components are like, but it's mainly it's holding one hand out, my left hand out in front of me, and bringing my right hand up in a rising motion. And because I do speak primordial, the
Ooh.
verbal component is just the primordial word for rise.
Nice. Okay. Dasani. And yeah. You stand like up at the front of the ship and you do this grand gesture, and you can see sort of a swell of water begin to sort of pull in from around the ship, and the ship lists and rocks a little as it's being lifted up off of this coral reef, and in a moment the ship rises, and you can see this sort of drops down onto the horizon, and it's weird it's like you're suddenly in a taller ship. And there is enough leeway now for the ship to move freely. Shade, I'll say that you can sort of feel when the ship seems like it is free.
And I would give the order to start rowing.
Oh yeah, they kick it off, and in a couple minutes, you are clear of the reef. And I'll say that anybody looking behind can start to see very small, sort of gray, triangular shapes piercing up through the water, sort of behind where the reef was. They are moldy Doritos that somebody left behind.
I'm guessing
Oh,
shark-
gross! Again.
there were sharks, and you skipped my shark puzzle.
Yep.
Yeah, but we also skipped the sunken pirate ship with 20,000 gold in it, right?
Yeah, you'll never know. You'll never know. Okay, moving on. Very nice. You did it. You done did it. Cool. So the day will go pretty uneventfully. But what do you guys? Is there anything you guys are doing on this last day of travel?
I think Magus will have started to calm down a bit from just being high on life
Yeah.
and coming back. And he's going to reflect a bit on Kyra's reaction to his prank. And Then I'm going to go up to Shade. And I'm going to ask, I know the account you told the sailors from how things were after the battle and after I died. How are you guys? How are you doing?
Well, since you came back, we're doing pretty well, I think. It was a bit of a wake-up call, if you would. See you fall.
You're telling me.
It's one of those things. We've faced a lot of danger and a lot of struggles, but so far we've been able to overcome them for quite some time now without anyone truly falling. So much so it's almost like, I'd almost begun to not really consider us needing the Scrolls of Resurrection. But now, again, it reinforced the stakes we're fighting for. It brought it back to the forefront. We are truly confronting some impressive powers, and we are in real danger in most of our conflicts. I think it was a little sobering. But on the other side, seeing you come back, I think the one it had the most profound impact on was Theagenes. He's, as we've seen, he's close with death, as it were. He is very intimate with making sure people can pass on in peace. And to him, it was final. That was it. It was done. We all suspected that there was something going to bring you back somehow. You just jump right back out shouting, "Magic is awesome!" like you normally do. But to him, he thought we were all bad men.
That makes sense.
But at the same time, it's one of those. We have a way to break the rules right now. When that runs out, I don't know if it will dash his hope even more. I think we need to be more careful.
I agree. I still don't know exactly what happened that brought me back. I certainly can't replicate it on command. I don't know if I could replicate it at all. I don't know how much is mine to divulge. But a large part, I think, of Theagenes' demeanor is because he lost people very dear to him. And so I don't know how that would hit to see me come back like it was nothing.
Yeah, that could do a number on someone. I can only imagine.
I wonder if
Well.
I should talk with him. I don't know if I would be the one to talk with him. Probably make some allegory using rules of magic to explain philosophy. I don't know if that's helpful.
Hey guys, what you talking about?
Talk about you.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
away.
What do you know about the difference between wizardry and sorcery?
Oh. Well. Maybe if. Huh? Probably each of us should try to talk to him to some degree. Who knows? Maybe with the camaraderie we've been building, he might be willing to open up and we can understand what exactly haunts him. And maybe find a way to help.
I hope so. I'm also worried about Falbin.
Yes. The dagger?
The dagger. He was very excited to receive his special new rapier the other day. But not excited enough to even think of the possibility of putting aside the dagger so that he could use the rapier. I'm no cleric, but that's a bad sign.
I noticed the night we stayed up on the Erie while you were dead. I stayed up all night to keep an eye on the eggs and make sure nothing interrupted the ritual. I noticed that Falbin intended to go to sleep, but seemed unable to. Don't know if it's connected, but it seems oddly coincidental.
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm not the person to talk to him about that. The last time I tried to confront him about something, it did not go well. But if there's ever a time when he's willing to let the dagger go, I will summon the ornate chest next to me. I have some place where we can put it that's beyond even scrying eyes, and then I'll dismiss it again to the ethereal plane.
That is good to know. Would something like that be a better place to store the scroll from Lutheria?
Perhaps. I have two chests, and I'll summon the other one. So we can keep the scroll and the dagger separately. The only
Yes, that
difficulty
is wise.
We should never put those in the same container. The only difficulty is that the moment we take the scroll out of the bag of holding, Lutheria will see where we are. So we will have to be very intentional about when and where we do that.
Quick logistics thing. When you do the bubble, the whatchamacallit?
The hut?
The hut, yes, the hut. You can make it opaque from the outside. Can you make it opaque from the inside?
Unfortunately not.
Oh, okay.
With a clever application of paint, you can.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever seen a paintbrush, but
It's like,
works.
there's no,
Use
there's no,
prestidigitation.
I don't
no
know about
spell.
magic.
there's no spell that can cover up this clear window. What are we gonna do?
Use some whiteout.
Well, here's
Is
what
this
we
some
do.
sort of material component for a spell?
Typical mages.
This is what happens when you don't have to ever put your back into work. You just rely on magic to solve all your problems.
Zarion is sort of behind you, just like mimicking your like authoritative gestures, but not actually speaking. Just like, yeah, yes.
Well, it might be something we just have to wait till we have an opportune moment in a fairly nondescript location.
True. On that note, I do have a way to make it so that people appear dead. That managed to fool even Chiron. So I think it could fool Lutheria spying on us too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd want to try it on any of those of us that she specifically has an eye out for, since, you know, as the matron of death, she'd probably know if we entered her realm. But others she may not have as much attention on. I don't know.
Interesting.
Maybe like make it seem like the crew of the Ultros is dead or something. I don't know.
I have to think about that one, see if we can find a
Yeah.
strategic use for that.
Yeah.
What would it work on one of the five? Make one of them seem dead?
I
We
don't
know
even
they wouldn't go we know they wouldn't go to her realm, but if we could convince her that one of them, say someone like Pythor, is out of the equation for a while, maybe lure her into action.
That is crazy and frightening, and I like that you came up with the idea. I'll have to think about it.
Because the two I would think that would bear the most likely to instigate some type of action would be Pythor or Valus.
I feel like Valus would be difficult because Lutheria has agents in Mitros who would know if the queen was missing.
True.
But
It
Pythor
would be
has
more
left
difficult.
Astoria.
He's right over there on the deck. Yeah, I see him.
Yes, yeah.
Hello, I see you waving at me. Hello, I can't hear you, but hello.
Just giving more pointers to Adrian on how to punch.
Put your back into it.
So what you need is a fist twice the size that you currently have. It's not something I can help with.
Have some chocolate milk.
I am taking far too much enjoyment to subjecting my brother to the gods.
As you should.
Oh. You're a good sparring partner.
As are you.
I'm gonna head down
You've
to
even
my
beaten
notes.
me twice.
And Magus will head back down to his room.
Shit'll keep going about his business on the deck.
Is DM here?
Oh, do you guys
Oh.
need me to do something?
Oh no, you're fine.
Well,
I'm just
We're
hanging
good.
out.
Nah,
Yeah, you guys just have fun with it.
nah, just hanging out.
more fishing!
No! you must stop.
Hey, you said you were just hanging out, so we're rolling.
Yeah, what is? You can't complain.
If you guys want to fish again, you can fish again. It's all good. I mean, probably just
I
like,
would like
yeah.
at the end of the day, I would like to cast Sending to Valis.
Yeah.
And I would like to ask about the Great Games and what was unveiled that caused such a commotion.
Right. Right.
Of course you would.
I got many irons in the fire.
Okay, so you call up Valis, and
I will also thank her for the dragon egg and let her know they have hatched.
okay, yeah. This is the sending is 25 word back and forth. It's not open channel, like phone
Correct.
call. Right. Okay. She says, I'm glad. Somehow I knew. She also says, my husband's foolishness has exceeded my own expectations. He has acquired much more of the aging potion than I realized. And he has grown a single dragon for himself to tremendous size. That's the end.
Fun. Not at all ominous.
No, why would you think
Could
that?
go wrong. Yeah, why?
What? I mean, this is
No,
great
she's-
news. Is somebody,
No.
one of the allies?
Yeah.
King
Yeah.
of Mitros?
Big dragon.
Nah, sea serpent.
Big dragon, best dragon.
Big dragon, best dragon.
A giant dragon with the mind of a toddler. Nothing can go wrong.
Yeah.
Of course not.
Beacons of well-known.
It's so wild
Thinking.
because, like, when you guys were in Mitros, if you had gone over to the games, you would have seen it. Oh, man. Yeah.
Unfortunately, we did crimes.
Oh, I mean, but you could have, like, flown over or something.
No.
True.
Anyway, like that's been several sessions ago. After that session, I was like, oh, I cannot believe that they didn't go try to sneak in and investigate that. That's wild. Anyway, yep. So Castus has a big old dragon. Okay, so dinner happens. Any other conversations going on? This is the night before you arrive. Is there any planning that needs to happen? Anything?
I mean, we probably should meet with Bisk and actually discuss what good protocol is for, meeting his tribe and everything, and what we should do.
So you ask him sort of what the appropriate way to go about it is. He says that he's sort of a greenish scale color, and he says, sorry, I'm just thinking.
It's okay. It's fine.
He says that his tribe is called the I had it a second ago.
I love those guys.
Second ago, Trap? Okay, cool.
I'm a third admin kind of guy.
God, I have the first word. I don't have the second word.
What does it start with?
No, I'm trying to make something up. This is called improv when you have a brain fart. I have improv constipation.
It's a pretty serious thing. You should get that looked at.
Their tribe is called the Jade Walkers, and oh God, no, it can't be walkers. No,
runners, sprinters,
Shamblers.
shamblers.
My God, why is this so hard?
Truffles.
It needs to be a verb. Swiftfoot. That's not a verb.
Bigfoot.
That's not a verb. Do you know
Trifoot.
Do you know what a verb is?
Jumping. Kicking.
Jumping. Swimming. Sparrow.
Crawling.
Stalkers.
God, you're hard to please. No wonder you can't come up with anything.
They're the Jade Stalkers. This is gonna sound so silly in a minute. And he says there are 4 tribes on the island. It's a pretty big island, but there are 4 tribes. 3 of them get along fairly well, but there is one tribe. Sorry, they don't get along well. They war constantly. Forget what I said about them. Forget what I said about them getting along well. They hate each other, and they're always fighting and killing.
I'm getting conflicting stories here.
I'm so sorry. I told you I was not prepared enough today. So after 10 minutes, we have the name of one of the 4 tribes, and they don't get along well. But there is one tribe that is the strongest of all the others, called the Firewalkers.
Oh, that's a sick name.
They have over 300 warriors, and they control the land around the central volcano that's on the island. So they are very dangerous. All the lizard folk, regardless of tribe, though, they worship a nameless deity that they believe sleeps down below the sea. And Firewalker tribe shamans regularly sacrifice captives taken in battle, either lizard folk or outsiders that happen upon the island, and hurl them into the volcano to feed this sleeping nameless god.
My people.
He says, though, that's the bad news. As far as, getting along well, each tribe has a lizard queen and a shaman that serves as an advisor. Each tribe has a couple hundred warriors each, and they control areas around the outside parts of the island.
Falbin starts paging through the harvesting manual for Lizard Queen.
I don't think you'll find
Love
anything on Lizard Queen, but he does say that there is the island is fantastic for hunting. There's all sorts of bountiful animal life.
Of course he does.
Lizard Queen is in the book.
There's no, it is not.
Lizard Folk Queen is in the book.
No, it is not. Oh my god. Okay.
Are you sure you didn't write this thing?
You are kidding me. No, that is
It's on page
hilarious.
73.
That is hilarious. Okay, I'll look at it later. That's so good. Yeah, so he says
diplomacy option.
he knows the side of the island to take you to, so that you will make sure that you go to his tribe, and he assures you that you will be welcomed, especially with this great gift of chocolate milk that you've brought.
Of course.
So yeah, do you have any other questions for him?
All right.
What's the plan? What are you doing?
Win.
Well, naturally, win. Yeah, that's how it goes.
I guess just drop
Shader-
him off, right?
Yeah, we'll just swing by. We'll just slow down to just walking speed. Just shove him off the boat, and no, I figured we'd land. We'd go ashore. We'd make sure he made it back to his tribe, and present the chocolate milk to the queen, and see if there's any chance that they're willing to go help fight titans with us eventually.
Yeah, I mean, Aesop chimes in, and I've often studied the lizard folk of Fire Island, and in spite of their odd ways, they venerate the dragons. They tell legends of the Dragonlords, who are said to have actually attended a great feast at the volcano before the First War broke out. And they immediately recognize the dragons as rightful rulers of Thelia. I think, especially now that we have honest-to-goodness dragons with us, we'll be welcomed with open arms.
I will also lean over to Shade, and I will say, Bisk's talk about a sleeping deity under the island matches the legends that Kyra has told us about a sibling of Sidon and Lutheria who opposed them and was imprisoned for it. I think this is something we should look into if we're talking about allies.
Yeah, a titan on our side would be an excellent ally.
Sounds like you guys are making a whole side quest out of this thing. I really just wanted you to drop Bisk off at this island and then leave. There was nothing there's nothing behind that. That's just you guys are just doing a nice thing.
I've heard this before.
Huh.
Yeah.
Come across, I don't know, further war crimes of the Dragonlords while we're there.
Or a sea serpent.
It's just the one Dragonlord. No, it didn't. There was a couple of bad ones.
Mhm.
Yeah, he gives you the walkthrough, and yeah, he just says if you see any firewalkers, run. So
What do they look like?
they are, I mean, they're red, so there's that.
Walking fire?
No, I mean they're like red lizards.
Oh. Well,
They're literally
that's
red.
true. Aptly named.
Hell yeah. I actually didn't come up with that one. That one was given to me. All right, so dinner again, and anything to take care of this evening before we move into the arrival day, and we'll wrap up after that.
I didn't have anything else. I mean, Shade's still pondering how he's going to try and talk to Falvin about the dagger and talk to Theagenes about death and resurrection.
Probably better not talk to him.
It'll be fine. It'll work itself out.
Yeah, I think I want to go talk to Theagenes.
Hi.
I'm immediately thrown for a loop.
He's just a happy guy now.
Right. Now I've got a ghost dragon. He can be sad for me.
Oh, so that's how you do it.
I have
You
outsourced,
have outsourced your
my sadness.
depression.
Yeah.
Crowdfunded.
Yeah, I'm gonna go like knock on Theagenes' door.
I answer it. Actually, I answer it psychically. Come in.
I open the door and like cock an eyebrow and think back to him showing off.
It would hardly work if I were to show off to you.
Oof. For better or worse, am something of an outlier.
Did you want to say something?
I've been thinking through my experience on the other side and coming back. And I think that my comments, some of my comments toward you when I came back, I think I still believe in the message, in the content of them, but the attitude was very much being drunk in the moment on what had just happened. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how I came back.
Yes. It's strange. I thought I knew that the world worked a certain way, but it seems not everybody follows the same rules.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're back.
What do you know of the difference between wizardry and sorcery?
Oh. You know, before I became whatever it is that I am, I didn't study magic. I don't know much about it. Not as much as you, of course.
I'm going to start undoing my armband. Wizardry is all about rules. It's known procedures, known requirements, known results. But with enough work, anybody can do it. Sorcery doesn't like rules. Sorcery bends the requirements, it bends the results, it changes things, it does things that to a wizard would be impossible. But you have to be born a sorcerer. You have to get lucky. I studied wizardry.
Oh, I was going to ask, are you applying this to your situation? Do you think you were born with an exemption from death somehow?
Oh, goodness, no. No. That's... I feel like that would have to be a born divinity sort of thing. I was born a sorcerer, though. I didn't know it at the time. I thought that my abilities with magic were just being a very adept wizard. But the things that I was able to do, the impossible things, were because I got lucky.
Well, let's hope our luck holds then.
Perhaps. But there is something I want to show you. And I take off my armband, and I open up the inside to the intricate lattice of electrum that's lacing the inside of the leather. I still studied as a wizard. And this is the result of my years at the academy. Any wizard who wears this can cast sorcery. Because even if I was the one who got lucky, I don't think that luck is good enough. And I want to change the rules so that people don't have to get lucky.
If you were applying this to the rules about death, it's almost madness, but I'm starting to believe in the madness of this crew.
It is certainly fun to believe, but I don't consider it a requirement. Just because I got lucky, I still live in fear of those that I love dying and what I'm leading my brother into and what might happen to him.
I can only say that you're lucky to have the loves that you were born with, and you should protect them at all costs. They cannot be replaced. Thank you, Magus, for coming to see me. I'm adjusting to your return.
Thank you for putting up with me. And if I didn't say before, I am sorry for your loss.
I'm not sure anyone's ever told me that. Thanks again.
I will give a nod and awkwardly leave.
I keep coming up with sad things about Theagenes.
It's good. It's good.
And Magus doesn't know how to deal with them.
I like that, like, that I don't know if anybody's ever told me that. Like, it's such a simple, you know, like, oh, of course, like, somebody would have been bound to say that at some point, but, yeah, wow. What is Falbin up to?
I mean, just kind of hanging out at this point. We're heading towards Fire Island, and he's still reading up on his harvesting book, kind of off to the side.
Mm-hmm. Do you think now is a good time for that thing we did?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you have any prologue for it, or does it just jump in?
I believe it's all contained.
Okay. Let me. Hopefully, you guys can hear it. Okay.
Falbin slumped, his body going limp. Something had seized his mind. He woke, but somewhere new. Before him stood Kror, the mighty Geigen warrior, and he seemed upset.
You're still weak. Too weak. You need to be tougher if you're to truly take my place and send Estor to his deserved fate.
What's going on? Where am I?
That dagger of yours may be my prison, but you and I are linked. You experience purgatory with me. And that...
A dark mist pounds against an energy barrier. Its torment is apparent. Piercing screams travel the veil.
Time passes differently here. Every second is a day out there. I've pulled you here to train the shit out of you.
A large club lands in his hefty, open palm.
I figure if you can make it through this, then we've got a chance at destroying Estor.
Wait, so you're expecting me to fight you?
Or die.
I do enjoy the thought of beating you over and over. Thus began an epic conflict. It went on for what felt an eternity, each combatant having moments of victory and loss. Over time, though Falwyn was loath to admit it, he learned skills he had never known, despite his many years operating as an assassin. Then, one day, Kror approached.
You have learned what I have to teach. You are tougher now. Still weak, but maybe enough skills to manage. It is time I let you go.
Seems a shame to leave. I suppose I do have a mission to complete, though. I'm surprised by you. I think I'll even miss you. Take care, Kror.
Farewell, scrawny one.
And that's why Falbin has.
Cats.
Balbin is multi-classed as a fighter now.
Say it.
Whoa.
What?
What?
That's cool.
That was a sick training montage.
Right? Yeah, we did that last night. Yeah, so I really like the idea of that like time passing differently for Kror inside the crystal, and like having an opportunity to like actually train skills and stuff in sort of a half sleep, you know. It's very Matrix. I'm always here for a Matrix reference.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you now have two levels of fighter, and is there anything else particular about that we should know? You have a maneuver, don't you?
There's goodness, but we can get into that next
Okay.
session. I know
Okay.
we're pressed for time tonight.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm glad we got to do that. Cool. So I guess just sort of to drop us off. The sun rises in the morning, and hold on, I had a description of this island. I keep closing the journal that I need to read from. So this is the island. I'll show you a picture Ta-da! It's Fire Island,
Oh,
and
looks hot.
so crystal blue, clear water, crystal clue water. It's a mystery. And a handful of smaller islands surround the landmass that you are slowly approaching. You see dense tropical forest covering the island. And as you get close enough, you can start to hear the cacophonous sounds of abundant wildlife. An impressive black mountain rises from the jungle at the center of the main island, and the smell of smoke and brimstone hangs in the air. And that's where we will wrap up our session today. So,
Smoky Brimstone. I hope you're ready to take everything to the most. You better bring your A game.
I hope
wanna
you're ready to
see
see.
A game.
Here,
Hope you're ready to see
here
how
as
easy it
guests,
is to
not
park.
plunderers.
You are guests. You are guests.
Guests gotta hunt birds, you know? That's just being hospitable.
You're guests of the Jade Star. God, I hate that name so much. No, I don't hate it.
Change their tribe names sometime in there.
It's the Jade hats. The Jade. Oh man. Anyway, so yeah, we'll kick off with Bisque leading you up to the island in your 2022 Honda Odyssey, complete with leather seats.
Sweet.
And
Gotta love it.
You keep saying that we can't do endorsements in order to stay demonetized, and yet
I keep forgetting these videos are not monetized, so I can do what I want. Also, gotta give a excited shout out to Supergiant Games because I need to ensure that I credit this video appropriately, but we can use their soundtracks. So that includes the Hades original soundtrack, which is very, very, very good, and featured in Falbin's.
go play it.
Yeah, that was Field of Souls in the background.
Yep.
That was good. That was very good.
I probably won't use it for a lot of like ambient music because most of it is like action forward and also doesn't loop incredibly well. Unless I were to make like a custom version of the song, a lot of them sort of escalate up until the end and then drop back down. And if that's every 2 minutes, it's sort of weird. But I'm going to find uses for it for sure. Anyway, cool. Well, any shout outs, anything you liked, anything you disliked?
Oh, I really enjoyed that training montage. Well done.
It's very good.
Good recording.
Very good.
Thanks.
Yeah. I thought you were going to like do a rip of my voice doing Crore and then make like an AI generated voice. Were you planning to do that originally?
I didn't want to make him sound like all gruff if that's not how you had done it, and so
That's fair.
I was trying to like just match tone.
I love that. Yeah, you did it in your own voice, and I thought that was great. Or your voice, but doing the Crore voice. Yeah. I liked how it also subtly shifted in attitude between you, because I mean the whole thing started because you wanted to get him back for ripping you apart. And that's why you got the dagger in the first place.
Now it's gonna be even harder to get him to put down the dagger.
Right?
That's my friend.
Yeah, why would you want him to put his friend down? What's wrong with you?
Plus Estor's in there, you know.
Right.
Don't you know that he's known this guy for years?
Literally.
Literally.
This is an intervention about that shitty friend of yours who keeps you up all night playing video games, and so you can never get any sleep.
It's so worth it though.
That's great. Yeah. Anything else? Anything else people were a fan of? Any episode name suggestions?
0% APR.
No, I can't do that.
You can harvest the
Odyssey
Lizard
RS.
Queen.
Can harvest the Lizard Queen. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like there was a lot of it that was around Theagenes,
Yeah.
and you know, it's something like Spectral Friend or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Trying to think
Maybe
of
Ghostbuster.
I think it should be more like Mr. Rogers type thing, because our conversation was so wholesome.
It was.
Like, won't you be my dragon or something like that?
My little dragon.
I'm trying to think if there was any like line that either of you said to each other that would be like a good title, right?
I mean, Nameless stands alone.
Nameless, honestly, that kind of goes hard.
Ooh, it plays with the whole life and death thing too. Whoa.
I think that's gotta be it. I think we're gonna do
That's
Nameless.
gotta be it.
Yeah.
It just gave you goosebumps. I can tell.
Yeah, I got the. What is this feeling?
little
I
bumps.
have
Yeah.
bumps on my skin.
Dopamine straight to the old brain pan. I saw it.
You saw it. I feel seen. That's good. We did a lot of fishing.
Absolutely. Got some seaweed.
You know,
Chip, double dip.
I was impressed that I didn't realize that the control water spell was able to just raise the level of water. That was good.
Yep.
I was like, you know what? I can't think of any reason why this wouldn't solve the problem. So there it is.
Yep. One of these days, you're gonna learn to just stop trying to throw ocean encounters at me.
Oh, there's gonna be other ocean encounters that you can't solve with that. But this one, like, because you guys almost just went and pushed the boat out, which would have also worked. And it's interesting because I think if you had used the treants, I don't think the sharks would have cared about them. I mean, they're trees, I think that would have also been basically a full win for you guys. So, yeah, like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, Daniel. I'm going. Yeah, I'm going to use the control water drown kraken aspect. It just instantly kills any krakens that are in the area of the spell.
A creature that
by drowning them.
born in water, lives in water, dies in water.
Yeah.
Is just drowned. Yeah.
Emphasizes that last part.
Yeah. What makes you think there's a kraken in this?
You literally told us that one of the rumors is that there is a kraken.
Oh, right. Hey,
Kraken
look
eating
at that.
ship.
You actually paid attention to the rumors. That's great.
Yeah. The way you said, what makes you think that there's a kraken? Yep, there's definitely a kraken.
I
What
do...
lever?
What lever? I did already go ahead and put invisible labels on all the islands, so as you travel to them, you'll start to uncover them on the map, and it's gonna be really funny because you're gonna eventually look and be like, "This is the most inefficient way we could be going about this."
Hey, you told us that every place was 3 days from every other
right,
place.
and it is, and it's because if you took the normal way of safely traveling along the coast, it would take 5 times longer. So this basically just gets you cutting right across the beeline for it, basically.
The post you made at Discord about rumors,
Yeah.
you made on February 28th, 2023.
Wow.
Wow.
A year.
What do you know? Was that Mitros rumors? I'm trying to remember.
Astoria, I think.
Astoria. We've really been going at this a while, huh? Very cool.
That's a lot of content. We can now say that we are media creators, and we've been doing it for almost a year. Dang.
I cannot believe there's actually a lizard folk harvesting guy.
I know, right? I love that the top tier thing is 20 gold.
It's not even that good. We will commit like war crimes and hardly get anything for it.
Yep.
You know, it's not about the monetary value; it's about the memories you make. So
What's really
really
funny
is.
is you can harvest a shaman independently, which was mentioned. So like
it was.
the top tier harvest for a shaman is 6 gold. We're really banking. If you go for a common lizard folk, their top tier is 1 gold.
This is going to be an interesting island because it is so rich with stuff to hunt. You guys could just stay here for days and days, like hunting stuff. You know.
No.
yes,
You got time.
yes.
There's a quote above the section for lizard folk, and
No.
it reads, "For some reason, lizard folk skin bags and shoes have never caught on as a fashion item in any society that I have visited. It's odd, seeing as how there is no functional difference between the skin of a crocodile and that of a lizard folk. Perhaps people are just a tad squeamish about wearing the skin of something that can talk."
Oh my god.
I think we need to upscale this trend. I feel like this is a really missed market. We can really capitalize. We'll just tell them it's crocodile.
That is great. In other news, the morning that you arrive is also the day that the vine tunic is completed.
Ooh, yeah. Which leads us back into the party conversation. I do need to leave like in a minute because I woke up at 4:30 or something.
Yeah.
But if we're gonna start in on the storm ring, we probably need to make that decision as a party and then get that started because it's a 25-day craft thing.
Yeah, if we want to be able to use it like more than once, because it's got a week cooldown on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, do some chatting in the shopping channel or whatever, and get ready for a fun jungle island adventure next time.
Bring your jungle outfit.
Yeah. And Matt, I will say that for your purposes, you have just as much like input with your dragon wormling as like Shade and Magus's characters do. So you guys are like, and Theo. Well, so basically you guys are at the same sort of point in the dragon parentage journey.
So what does that mean? Like, if we're in a battle, do I use an action?
So I think we talked about how initially the dragons are like, they trust you, but maybe not enough to like go into battle for you until you are able to like prove their trust a bit more. So and that'll probably just be like some sort of tactical accomplishment, something that shows your warrior skill, and then they will join you probably in battle. So
Okay.
but right now they are just getting used to being alive or not ish. Oh, what a sad little baby dragon. Oh,
Dragon.
All right,
Man.
I'm gonna hop, guys.
Okay,
I'll
man.
catch you guys later.
Thank you. Glad you were here, Crikey, and we'll see you next time.
Yep, bye.
See ya.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go ahead and kick off the recording. And